it's like, why am I even putting that energy into it? I'm much happier trying to sell the ones that I had self-published. I mean, that I printed on my own.
Yeah, well, you only have the one. So once you've got a
Well, now I
series
have
of
two.
books, that makes a difference. Oh, okay. You've got two now?
Yeah, well, you sold Little Dog. Well, you know
Oh,
what? You
that's
probably,
right. That's right.
yeah,
That's right. That's right. Yep. Yep.
yeah. And what is surprising to me is that my sales on it are 1/4 of what the auto books have been. And
Yeah.
and I just assumed naively that all of my family and my personal friends that
Hmm.
bought auto would have bought it because it was me, but that's not been the case.
Right. Yeah, some books are they surprise me and they end up being more popular than I thought that they would be, and others it's the other way around, and sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to it.
Right.
So,
Yeah. And I've had a lot of people pressuring me, when's there a third?
mhm.
And um, I think I am done. It's just don't forget how old I am.
Uh-huh. I
You
just
know,
met with somebody today who's turning 80, and she is has a number of books and has a number more in her still. So I don't
it's
buy into that. I'm getting too old.
well, does she do her own illustrations, or does she have somebody
No,
who does it?
no. She has an illustrator that
It
she works with.
I don't paint fast, and do the 16 pictures per book takes me just to paint 4 months.
Yeah. Yep.
So so I'm looking at, from beginning to end, 6 to 9 months, which would mean I'll be well into 80, pushing 81 before I would have another book out. And I
Yeah.
don't know, it's just I'm finding it way too pressure driven. And
Yeah.
I'm not painting on my own.
Right. Let me just spotlight, just welcome everybody who's joining both here live and also on YouTube. This is my weekly Q&A. I go live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern because I wanted to be able to serve different time zones. So I'm here to answer your self-publishing questions. This is absolutely free. One of the things you can do for me, if you are enjoying the stuff that I post here, the videos, the Q&A, go in and subscribe to my YouTube channel. 75% of the people that watch my videos never subscribe. So I'm looking for, to be able to grow that audience so that I can continue to bring in really great sessions. I'm looking at more stuff around the Authorpreneur Summit that we're going to be doing. Lots more things coming your way. And if you are subscribed to my YouTube channel and my mailing list on my website, then you will have access to hear first and foremost before it goes out to anybody else. So go ahead to youtube.com and then it's self-publishing made simple. Or if you're just searching on YouTube, it's self-publishing made simple with April Cox. So I'm glad to welcome you all today. And if you could just tell me a little bit about where you're dialing in from, and if you have specific questions or topics that you'd like me to cover. I do also have, I did go over it earlier today, but we talked a little bit about direct selling and some new features that have rolled out with Ingram Spark. I'm happy to walk through that again for those of you that are interested and to answer any topic on self-publishing. This is truly an Ask Me Anything session. So let's see what we've got for chat. What do we got here for folks? Tell me where you're coming in from. What are you looking to do?
April, this is Denise. I got rave reviews about your afternoon meeting in regard to direct sales, and was hoping, and I look forward to hearing all about it tonight.
Okay,
So
good.
hopefully we do get a chance to do that.
Good. Absolutely glad to do that.
Yes. And I agree. This is Linda again. I agree with Denise. I came because I want to hear about direct sales. That's
Okay, so
my interest was.
We'll start with that for sure. Let's see, we've got I'll just monitor things that are going on with the YouTube channel. And also here, if you've got anything specific in chat here, feel free to throw questions up. And as I'm going through things, if you've got a question, you can feel free to take yourself off mute, and I'm happy to answer your questions for those of you that are here with me live. And if you are seeing this streaming and we are live and you want to join me on Zoom, go to aprilcox.com/Zoom, and it will redirect you to my Zoom meeting, and you can join us here live. We're happy to have you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with a little information about Ingram Spark and some of the new things that are happening with direct sales, both for Ingram and Lulu, and I'm sure we're going to hear more about it. Denise, would you mind if I set you up as a co-host so that you can allow people to come in if I'm, well, and I can focus on some of what I'm doing here?
Absolutely.
Thank you, my dear. Okay, so I'm just going to log in my own account. So for those of you that may not be familiar with Ingram Spark, it is a print-on-demand option that is available. I typically recommend that my authors use both Amazon KDP and Ingram Spark when they go to print-on-demand publishing. The reason being that KDP, which is Amazon, is great, you know, to take advantage of everything that's going on with Amazon and the bazillion visitors. That's the technical term, the bazillion visitors that they have coming their way. We want to take advantage of that, but there's an option on Amazon that says, you know, you check off on the pricing page that says expanded distribution. I don't recommend you check that off. I want you to consider, instead of allowing Amazon to distribute to other places besides Amazon, go to Ingram Spark and set up an account there and make them your distributor, because that expanded distribution through Ingram Spark will get you into Barnes & Noble, Target, Walmart, tons of libraries and bookstores will have access to your books. Now, it's still up to you to market them, and you need to do that, but you have the distribution channel is more than 40,000 different locations. Now, yes, Amazon could probably boast a smaller portion of that they can get you into certain locations as well. But not a lot of bookstores and libraries are going to want to buy from Amazon. They are a direct competitor, and they're putting a lot of bookstores out of business. So they would much rather purchase and go through Ingram Spark as a distributor than to try to purchase something through Amazon. So so now that we know a little bit about that, when you are going up and setting up an account on Ingram Spark, you're just going to go to ingramspark.com. And you're going to have the same kinds of things to set up as you do with any other, like KDP, same things. Enter your personal information, your banking information, and also tax information and a credit card. So same type of setup. You're going to set up your titles just like I did here. This is my equivalent to my bookstore. And then this new feature over here that says new, this is a new feature that Ingram Spark just added, and it came out in beta for a couple of my authors, and now it is available, I think, to everybody. I haven't seen anybody that does not have it. When you click here for the first time, you're going to have some terms that you have to accept, terms and conditions, and then you can come in here and create a purchase link. And what this does basically is support your direct sales. Give me a moment to just walk you through what that looks like. And then you'll have an opportunity to add some additional questions. So this is a list of all of my books here. I'm going to set up a purchase link for Little Sister for Brady. So maybe let's pretend it's a, a year anniversary or something, and I'm going to be doing a special for a little sister for Brady. I'm going to create this link, and I'm going to say 1 year anniversary sale. So I can call it whatever I want it to be. And I can create some special pricing, and it defaults here to the price that it costs me to purchase the book. So $6.97 is the printing price. It's my cost. If I want to set this up and allow people to pass through my author cost, I could just create the link. I don't get any additional compensation, but people could actually purchase it for this price. Now, if I decide that I want to just create the link at my retail price, which is $12.99, look at the compensation, $6.02. Why is it so high compared to your print on demand? Because you're taking the middleman out of it. There's no 40% for US sales that you're paying to a Barnes and Noble or another middleman that's going to take get that discounted price and then list it at their store and then bump up the price. This is directly for people who you've already sold to, whether it's on your website or maybe you want to link directly for social media. The benefit of doing something like this is you do have the ability to play around with pricing. I could do a $9.99 price and still make $3 in compensation. I can limit the number of orders per link. Maybe I'm only willing to do, the first 10 people that order get it for $9.99. After that, it's sold out. You can limit how many orders you're willing to do at whatever price point you put here. You can also limit, if you want, the number of books per order. Maybe each person can only buy 1 or 3 or whatever. You can also set a date range. If it's going to be like a Valentine's Day special, maybe they have to buy between today and or last week and today or whatever. These, you put the dates, or if you leave them open, then there's no type of shut off due to the date range. Now I'm going to click generate link. It's going to send my code that I need to just quickly jump over and grab. Get to my email. Come on now. All this protection and codes and everything is good, but it can slow everything down here for a moment. So,
April, this is Denise. I just want to make sure that no one is sitting there trying to get in, because with your share screen, I'm not sure I can see everything. And right now you're on mute, April. Okay, now we can hear you.
Have you not heard me earlier?
No, we did hear you.
Oh,
just after, for the last like 10 seconds, if that.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what happened all of a sudden. Yeah, so it looks like I'm not hearing or seeing anybody in the participants that's waiting in the waiting room. It should show you and pop up for you when people do come on board.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so this, where did it go? 000551. I'm going to go put this code in 551. Okay, done. So now it says, congratulations, your link is now available. And it gives you the ability to download a QR code that you could add to your social media. You can add it to a flyer. If you're doing a special for a school visit, for example, you could do that. This is great opportunities to create specials and different links for different purposes, or you can just keep one like I'm doing. I'm not doing anything specific. You can also send the QR code and HTML as well as your link via email. Now your web designer or you can go in and add the HTML to one of your web pages, and it will show this. I'll show you exactly what it looks like. I'm going to click done here. I'm just going to go to that link that it gave me. And if you guys want to take a look yourself, I'll post it in here. So it comes to this page when people click on that link or scan the QR code, it gives them the opportunity to look at the front cover and the back cover. Also, a book brought to you by Little Labradoodle Publishing. That's my impression. And then powered by Ingram Spark. It's got a little sister for Brady. It shows the original price and the discount. And I can add it to cart. It shows my description and information. And when they add to cart, it's going to, again, this is direct sales. So it's going to go ahead and fulfill this order. Wait, when it comes up with view cart, I'll have to put the information in about my book. So how many the person wants, contact, phone number, email address. So this is kind of cool. I wonder if you do direct sales, whether Ingram makes this information available to you, because this would be a great way of growing your email address too, your email list. But I have not placed any orders. So if you want to go ahead and grab one of my books, I will let you know if I actually get to see your email address through it. That would be really cool if that was the case. So I'm going to go and post this on the YouTube here as well. Nobody here in the chat. Okay. So, but yes, you have the ability then to allow people to fill out the information and continue, purchase the book, and it's going to send it directly to them. So the pros, you're going to make more money. You have more flexibility. You're driving sales directly to Ingram, so you don't have to fulfill anything yourself. The cons are, if you're going to sell direct onto your website or whatever, you may want to have stock that you can then sign and then send to the individual, with a little note or whatever. What I would recommend, if you really feel like you want to give people the ability to get a signature of yours on the book, is you might want to consider book plates, where, it's kind of like a, I don't know what you call a label that has room for you to sign the book. And it's a sticker that you can send to them. Maybe you add a special thank you note. Here's a book plate you can put on the book. I wanted to expedite the order, so I shipped it directly from the warehouse. Here's a book plate to put on it. Here's a couple of stickers. Here's a bookmark with my gratitude. And that could go directly to the same address and could provide you with, the best of both worlds. Any thoughts or comments on what you're seeing?
Okay. Hi, it's Linda. Couple of questions. You commented that you don't know if they'll let us have the name of the person and their information.
Yeah.
I know I've gotten into 6 Barnes and Noble stores, but when they order, I have absolutely no idea that they're ordering. And
that's right, because it's going through the distribution channels. What I don't know is whether this new feature is going to give us access to who ordered and their contact info.
Okay.
I would love it if they do. I'll try to see if I can get someone to go ahead and click order and see if it's going to show anything there. That would be really amazing if it does provide us that information, but I don't know. The other option.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the other option is if you want to sell through your website, that's a different, as you're building your email list, you can send people to your website. You can, sell directly from there. And then I suppose if you wanted to collect that information and then come on and just go on to this direct link yourself, you could also fulfill it that way. And you would still have the information, or you would just fulfill your book yourself.
Okay. And so you would only use this for in quote people, but not for direct sales to a store. They're still going to go through the other division, through the distribution.
They're going to go through the distribution, but there's nothing preventing them from going there. Like, for example, if you had somebody contact you and say, I'd like to order your book in bulk, what would, what kind of a discount will you give me? you could go and create a link like this that's got, a 20 or 30% discount, and you'll make less per book, but they can order in bulk through that.
Okay.
Something to think about.
That's what I was going to ask you about the website thing. That's the thought that came to my head, April, was that if there was a way for that could be linked to your website, or that page
Yes.
where they have to fill it out to go to your website, so you get
Yes.
the emails and the address and everything. And I like the idea that then you send them as a thank you thing for ordering the book, the book plate and some kind of little sticker and everything else.
Yeah, I think that I would have to ask my web designer, hey, if I give you the HTML that they're sending me by email, are we still able to capture those fields, or pass through the fields, like capture them on our website and then pass the information forward so that, the order still goes through, but we are collecting all the information. That's something that I haven't experimented with yet. But I gotta think that with a little bit of help from somebody on the technical side, that we should be able to accomplish that.
Because if you can sell directly to your website with your own printer, your own print company doing it and sending it out and distributing them, there's got to be a way to do it and kind of backdooring it to
So a couple of other options too. When I did the Authorpreneur Summit and I did an interview with the woman from Lulu, Chelsea, she mentioned that Lulu is helping authors to create direct or to fulfill direct sales from their websites. And the first one that's already implemented is an integration with Shopify. If you have a Shopify store, you can integrate it with Lulu so that when you sell your books, they'll be printed and distributed or printed and shipped through Lulu. And that is already in place. You can also integrate Shopify with your YouTube channel, and it will allow your books to appear below your videos. You can have like a little shop that appears on YouTube. Also, I heard today from somebody that they followed up with Lulu and wanted to find out when would Wix, integrating with Wix be available instead of just Shopify. And they said it's out a few months. So it is on their roadmap, and you'll be able to connect it right to your Wix store, so that when people order a book, it can be fulfilled without leaving your Wix site.
Now, I was on with the woman from Elite Publishing. She speaks very highly of you. And she was saying about selling directly from the website and using Ingram Spark. So something's got to be some way in the works I'm sure she's very techie and everything. She would understand how to capture something that way.
Yeah. Yep. Well, it does. This does send you, like it sent me the email that, let me just grab it because I asked it to send me the email. Here it is. Here's your share and sell link. And it also provides me with this text I can give. It's the HTML. This goes on my website so that the page that we're looking at over here is wrapped, and people see this right from my website. They don't ever have to leave my website and go off to another thing. And that's what the this text is. So it kind of wraps it in a frame around my own website, so people don't have to leave my website to go off anywhere else, and they're still able to place the order, but it does call the other code from the Ingram Spark website. So again, I've not experimented a lot with it, but I just really felt like this is a new functionality that is allowing so much more than we've ever had before. And we're seeing a trend with these websites where you're really able to do. Oh, you know what? I wasn't sharing, was I? Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm back in my email. I asked I asked Ingram Spark to send me the share and sell link. And so here's the QR code I can use, but here's the text. So it's got the HTML that my web developer can add right into my site, or if you know how to do that yourself, it's just adding an HTML block, dropping this in, and then that will wrap this in my website so that people will, it's just as if they're in my website when they're placing the order.
So you would make a separate page like called store on your website, and that would be then dropped into that?
So if somebody was on my website and they were seeing a list of my books and they clicked on, to buy or whatever, more info or shop, buy now, then they might come to a page like this instead of a typical shopping cart. And they wouldn't even necessarily know that it's outside of my website, except for the fact that it says powered by Ingram Spark. But
You
it
don't
is
have to
all,
make a
it all
separate
ends up being,
page or anything, like a
Yeah,
blank page called store or something that this would have to be input into.
right, exactly. Yep.
Okay.
April,
Mhm.
April, if you wanted to go to my website and show them, because I've got it set up as, exactly like you could click on it to buy now and you can see it'll look just like this page here, but you could see what I have put up there
Okay.
for people to see to click on.
Okay. What's the address?
NancyRoot.com.
NancyRoot.com.
And then
Okay.
up on the right, click on shop.
Yeah, might be zoomed in a little too much there. Okay, so we go to shop. So you've put the code inside for all of
Yeah,
this.
so here, I have this, and then I've got my toys separate. So I've got developmental books. So you click there to shop at the books.
Mhm.
And then I have,
Add to cart.
so I haven't prettied this up, but if you scroll down, you'll see that's not the one that's Ingram. So the hardcover and the paperback, and look, it's not even lined up right. That hardcover is available on Ingram, and I don't know why
It does
looks-
come off into another window, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
Nice.
I mean, you can also you can wrap it in on a page
right on that page. Yeah, like I could put it right there is what you're saying.
well, or into another page on your own website that has, your header or your footer,
Yeah.
and it would have the information that's collecting the data within the wrapping of your own website. So that is definitely not a problem.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
No problem. And then I also sent you an email because I placed one order for that. And as a customer, I received an email. It's just a basic email, but I forwarded it to you in case you wanted to show them. And I was looking around to see if I had gotten any report of that sale. And I haven't seen a notification of that, but it was like a week or so ago when I was in a rush setting this up. So I might have missed it, but yeah, I can't confirm if we can see the customer information or not.
So you got this notification as a customer, not as the bookseller, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got a
this is what Ingram Spark sends out when people order on that link. They get the order confirmation, they get the order number, the date, the pricing, and it also shows customer information as well. So that's cool that you have all of that there.
so I'm gonna look in my email a little bit more to see if I can find any evidence that I got.
Yeah, or not necessarily the email, but maybe on the store.
On the store, yeah. So let me go into
Does
Ingram
it actually show you anything there for your direct sales? That would be really cool if there's any
I'll take a look
reporting
there.
capability or extracting of information available through Ingram. That would be great.
Okay, I'll take a look there.
Okay.
Who pays for postage?
The customer does.
Okay.
That was brought up earlier in the day when we went through this at 1 o'clock today. They were saying, it's more than typical what people would be paying if they're on Amazon and using Prime, which is true. that is definitely something that you might have to account for, maybe lower the price, and you can adjust your price to account for shipping, or just, you're giving this bulk option to people, or this special option. Just know that they'll have to know that it will be calculating a shipping price, tax and shipping.
Yeah, and I have to admit, I must really be out of things. I don't know Lulu. I know you said they're a printer. Do they do digital the same as Ingram, or do they do offset?
They do have beautiful quality printing. I do a coil bound version of my workbook for my self-publishing group, and it's gorgeous. So I use that. I use Lulu for that because you can't do coil bound anywhere else. They also have better quality paper as well than what you can get with Ingram. So it's worth checking out. It's just another print on demand company, but they do have some additional options and additional offerings that can be really helpful.
Okay, but they are POD, so they're doing digital.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
I had an interesting thing at one of the Barnes and Nobles that I was at.
Mm-hmm.
They sold out while I was there.
Nice.
Of my book, which was great. They said we should have ordered more. I said next time.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have one to put on my display where I was signing the books. And so I used my offset book.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a big difference between my offset and the digital.
Yeah.
And so this man picks up my book and he's looking at it and he says, you've got a book here, let me buy it. And I said, well, I'd love to do that, but Barnes and Noble wouldn't be happy. It's not from the same place and I'm not allowed to sell my book here. What's the difference? So we talked about it. He said, I'll go to your website and buy it. He said, I want this book. And
Yeah.
I've had people who have seen.
And there's another one. There's a couple of other PODs that I'm experimenting with that I heard one of them has the same quality paper as an offset printer, but it's print on demand. So they have that option available. But I'm going to be doing a little bit more research and experimentation so that I can test it out for myself before I start, spreading the word that there's this new printer that's worth checking out.
And it's an ordeal because when you do offset printing, and if you want to make it be the best price you can get, you have to order a lot and then you have to pay for it up front. And I've got a lot of books sitting in my house.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I always say test your titles first, make sure that it's selling really well before you start ordering in bulk. But that's my recommendation. Other people will tell you that if you really believe in your title, then one of the best selling factors is a really high quality book. And then if you try to do POD and you're selling a lower quality, then that's going to impact your sales. I can see where they're going, but I also feel like there's a happy medium where, doing some testing is really helpful.
Well, I wasn't that smart. So.
Leslie, go ahead. You had your hand up, and then I'll go to you, Denise.
Okay. Yes, thank you. I just had a question about competition with Amazon. This direct sales brings up a whole, big question about, separate pricing than what they sell it for. And are they going to kick you off because you've got this special deal going? Not necessarily a special, but I'm taking that this would be like for a limited time for a group of people or for a sale or something like that, not necessarily to stock your website with product at a cheaper rate, right?
You could use it for any of those things.
Okay.
Any and all of those things. So remember that Amazon, the only exclusivity that Amazon will give you trouble about is if you are in Kindle Unlimited and you've signed into that checked off KDP Select, right? You're in Kindle Unlimited and you're selling your ebook elsewhere. They don't want you to do that. But but with regard to your print book, you're able to sell it on your own website, on other websites, at events. You can do whatever you want with your sales.
Okay, cool. That's great.
Yep.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Denise.
You answered my question. I wanted to know about KDP Select, if that was going to make a difference. And so thank you for that. Question
Oh, yeah.
answered.
Only for the ebook, that's all. And then what I typically recommend with KDP Select is give yourself 90 days, right? Use all of the benefits of this extra attention that you'll get from Amazon for the first 90 days in Kindle Unlimited, and then get out of it and go wide. Unless there's, lots and lots of page reads and things coming from Kindle Unlimited, you have the opportunity to go wide, and just using draft to digital, they will get your book, you put it in one place and they will blast it to a whole bunch of places where your ebook will be sold, including Google Books, Apple Books, Kobo, and a bunch of others. So it can help you get some additional markets, additional sales going on outside of just Amazon.
Okay. Thank you.
I think that's more important for people outside of children's books, right? Because I don't know how much of a market there is for children's books when it comes to those outside of Amazon. I feel like the ebook I use most often for promotional purposes. So it's, giving away free ebooks, doing a BookBub deal, doing a Fussy Librarian promotion, those kinds of things, or supporting my launch team. Those kind of things are important, and that's how I use the ebook. But there's not a whole ton of ebook sales when it comes to children's books typically. Okay, go ahead, Denise.
In connection with selling books on Amazon stuff, I was on a webinar today with IBPA. And they had several people there from the BizEc. And they said that they spent several months now, and they have changed all the codes on so many categories.
Mm-hmm.
And that they will be sending them to Amazon, and Amazon will be catching up to this. And in March, then Amazon will be changing all the codes. And I kept thinking of that, all the keywords and all the codes changing, because they have taken categories that were general, say like folk tales and myths and legends, and they have broken them down to minutia of stuff. And they've done that with several other categories and things to fine tune them, if you want to say, so that now instead of just saying, okay, my book falls into this, and all I kept thinking in the back of my head is that how Amazon only allows you 3 keywords or whatever, and that now you have to go and really peruse through what right now is like 5,500 things of keyword stuff that BizEc has. Now it's going to be maybe 8,000 of them because they have fine-tuned them down to so much, and they said they're still not done. They want to keep putting them down more. So I'm thinking like, oh my God,
I hadn't heard that. And the BISAC codes are, when you go into Ingram Spark, everything you choose there is BISAC codes. That's the way that librarians refer to the book categories. When it comes over to Amazon, they do like a crosswalk, and they will like put it in categories that it thinks it might match. So yes, you can go on to KDP and you can choose categories, and you're right, there's kind of a crosswalk between the BISAC codes and the categories. But it will be interesting to see what happens when things change. I'm hoping that
they said they eliminated some, a lot of categories they eliminated. And they created new ones. So one of the questions they brought up, somebody brought up, was like, well, what happens to the ones you eliminated?
Right.
And they said that they will try to transition, because I said, what about all these books that already had these keywords, classified them? They said they would transition the books into the new keywords, so you don't have to redo your book again.
Yeah, you mean new categories, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to go in there and redo everything. They'll just kind of transition it.
The definite thing that never changes with Amazon is that there's always something changing. There's a lot going on right now with their with the Amazon website, the KDP, I'm having constant problems these days with categories and with other things. With the website just stops performing. I think they're doing some updates or something there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we find out that there's more going on behind the scenes that we haven't heard about yet. Hi, go ahead, Marina. I got to get you off mute. Oh, I'm not able to hear you for some reason. Can anyone else hear Marina?
No.
Perhaps your microphone needs to be plugged in or something.
It's strange.
Now
Yeah.
I hear you. Now I hear you.
Yeah,
There you go.
because I actually got out of the mic. That explains why I tried to get into a conversation a few times and no,
We aren't ignoring you, my dear.
no, it's okay. So I have some, I think, useful information. First, direct sales are not as nice as it looks at first, because I did some basic math. For example, your book is $6.97. You have to pay to print it, and if you mail it, specifically paperback, if you mail it media mail, it's $4.13. It adds up to $11.10. So you cannot sell it for less than $11.10. Otherwise, you will be paying out of pocket.
Well, what I'm saying is that when people go on to that link and they purchase it, it'll add the extra for shipping.
I understand that. But my point is, when you will be promising direct sales to people on your website, it kind of makes sense to put a price and specifically say plus shipping. And when you calculate the price you want to sell it for, you should not, you should consider that it will be no less than $4 in addition to it. Otherwise, people will just run away. With that said, it makes sense to create a transitional page of you on your page. Transitional page should say direct sale from Ingram Spark, blah, blah, blah. They click for such price plus shipping. They click on it, and you can add intermediate page, which will say, would you like to enter your email for future promotional info?
Yeah.
And if they want it, they enter. And if they don't, they click no. And then, and only then, they go to that link, which they can go to via that QR code. It is very easy to do.
Okay. Yeah, I think some
from
of
web
us
perspective.
have that technical background can play around with some of that. I'd love to see some of that in action so we can share it with others.
Yeah, no, well, I did not do web programming for ages and ages, but I do know that it is exactly 2 pages, most of it empty. There will be very few lines of code.
Yeah.
I can tell you for sure that it is technically very easy to implement.
Great.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess it's pretty much it. But I was gonna say, unfortunately, those sites make sure that authors get no more than $1 per book.
Okay.
They literally do their calculations so well. It is no way you can make more than $1 per book, no matter how you do it.
Well, I think what it's showing there, when we went in and we set everything up, if I send you to the direct shipping, and I guess I'll find out, because Denise went in and ordered from the link that I just set up. So I'll have to come back and let you guys know, what did it show? How does it report on those direct sales? And did I actually make the royalty that it showed? Or was it some other, do they do something else that maybe it's not as obvious, like you're talking about with shipping?
Well, no, theoretically, it is possible that they have some special deal with USPS, and their shipping maybe by any miracle will be cheaper just because of the volume. Theoretically, it's possible, but as math stays right now, $1, it's what we will be making on those direct sales.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how it all comes together. The one thing I really like about this conversation, where we've got POD companies fighting for attention to help us with direct sales. So if Ingram doesn't do such a good job, and all of a sudden Lulu is doing this great integrations and they're giving us more for the direct sales, then we may find them, and especially if others also start throwing their hat in the ring, it would be a good thing for authors to have that competition.
Very true. Definitely.
So we shall see. I'll let you know what I find here. Awesome. Any other questions? Let's take a quick look through the chat. See if anybody. Millicent, welcome. Nice to have you here from Central Canada. Thank you for joining us today. Let's see. I don't see any other questions. Of course, I'm glad to entertain other topics besides just direct sales. We are doing fantastic things in my Amazon ads work group, sharing a lot of the benefits of Amazon ads and my experience in managing ads for others. That is just crazy stuff that I've been doing for years, and I'm now starting to see repeatable opportunities to be able to see video ads doing extremely well. I'm seeing what I call lottery ads doing extremely well. And I'm happy to answer questions about Amazon ads. And if you are interested in getting on the waiting list for my next work group on ads, I'm happy to talk with you about that. You can send an email to April at the little labradoodle. I'll put it in here, or just go to my website, selfpubmadesimple.com, and let me know that you're interested. I am currently we're going to be approaching week 3 on Monday, but we're doing 12 weeks. My goal for these Amazon ad work groups is small groups, no more than 5 together, working to go from confused, don't get it, can't figure out anything to do with Amazon ads, to confident and selling and being able to dial in your ads so that it actually becomes profitable for you to be able to sell on Amazon. And that's my goal. I've been doing it with a lot of success with other authors. I'll be the first to admit that not all books do well on Amazon ads, but especially if you have a series of books and you have information, you have a number of things in a series, or you have a number of books. One book might be a little bit of an uphill battle, but the more books you have, the more success that Amazon ads can get you, especially if you go through my checklist. By the way, I have a checklist of things that you should make sure that you are doing before you start running Amazon ads. And that's another thing I'm happy to share with you guys if that's something that you want me to dig into for the last few minutes or so of our time together. Okay. Let's see.
April,
Sorry,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
No, you go ahead. Mine is totally unrelated, so.
Yeah, mine is too.
Oh,
Go ahead.
okay. I had a question about Amazon Advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a cost for that? And what do you know? What advantage is Amazon Advantage?
So first of all, Amazon Advantage it's a separate program. It's not a print on demand type of like KDP is for Amazon. There's 2 programs that are separate from print on demand for people who want to sell their offset books. So if you are, don't like the idea of print on demand and the quality is lower than you want, and you decide to do a big print run, how are you going to sell those books on Amazon? The answer is one of 2 ways. Either go and apply for an Advantage account and get into Amazon Advantage, or you can go through Seller Central. which is another Amazon account. Both of them are similar with some minor changes. First of all, Amazon Advantage is one that had been closed down a while ago, and now they just started opening it up probably 5 or 6 months ago, letting people in a little bit at a time. So if you think this is something that you might want to do, it does take time to apply for Advantage and then go ahead and get approved and then upload all of your books and things like that. The difference, or the approach with Amazon Advantage, is you set up your listing and Amazon gives you purchase orders. So they're going to pay you a certain price for your book. I think it's, 60%. They keep 40, but they are going to pay you that, and they're going to give you a purchase order. At first, it's like 1 book, 5 books. Send 1 book here, 1 book there, and at first, it's a little slow going, and it can be costly because you're shipping your books. You're paying to ship your books. Once things get moving, they might be asking you for 100 books to this place and 100 books to that place, or a pallet of books, right? Depending on how your books are selling. So if you compare the profitability, once you get things at that level, you have an option of making, let's say, $7 or $8 a book profit instead of print on demand, where you might be making a couple of dollars a book. With Seller Central, it's a similar type of platform, except you have the ability to list your books, and either you can decide to fulfill them yourself or send to Amazon and have Amazon fulfill them. It's not purchase order driven. You decide how many books you want to send to Amazon. They can fulfill them and send them out on your behalf, and they take a piece of that. So they're kind of similar, but you can also you can decide to list them on Amazon. And one of the benefits of fulfilling books yourself is that you get all of the contact information. So instead of Amazon getting all the contact information and you can't grow your list, you get all the contact information. The downside is you also have to fulfill those orders yourself.
Okay.
Or you might have a warehouse that is able to fulfill it for you. So if you are someone who is getting a very large volume of books, one that I recommend is Jay Maletsky and his group. I think it's called iapcbooks.com. I'll put it in the chat. And he not only can he help you with getting your books printed in bulk, but he also has warehousing, and he also does fulfillment if you want those services.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Leslie, go ahead.
Thank you. This is probably a very simple answer, but it keeps perplexing me.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to run for those 3 days of my launch, my ebook for $1.99. Can I just go in and change my price for those 3 days and then change it back? Or does that get me in some kind of trouble with Amazon?
They will let you go in and update your amount. If it's an ebook, as long as your book file is not too big, sometimes large files, the minimum price might be larger than $1.99. So I would just take a look at what the minimum amount is that you can put it down to.
Yeah.
Another option is if your ebook's been out for a little while, the same place you can go to do your to set your book for free, there's also a Kindle countdown deal. You could do that instead, and you could do you could set it up. Your book has to have been out. Your ebook has to have been out for a little while first. But once you've met the qualifications, you can say, you know, do a Kindle countdown deal, start at 99 cents, and then every so often it just kind of goes back up to its normal price, and it does it over like a week period. So it's something you can set the period during these 3 days, you know, let it go up. So it just says it rewards people that act faster. Maybe they can get it at $1.99 or 99 cents. And then as you get closer to the end of the promo, the price goes up.
That's pretty cool. Now, does that work on ones that you can do for free, or like, for instance, I think I've checked mine, the cheapest I can do mine is $1.99. So would mine for that particular countdown deal, because I was kind of reading a little bit about those and I thought that it had to be free to do those deals.
No, you can give it a try. If you want to share your screen, we can take a look at it together and we can step through it. I don't think there's any other questions waiting on us, so I'm happy to just take a quick look at that.
Let's see if I can get in here.
Got a couple people asking for the Amazon ads checklist. I'm happy to share that.
Let's see if I've got my KDP up here. Yeah, I do. Okay, so let me go back to my bookshelf. I need to go into the ebook, right?
Yes.
So that would be this one here, and
I go and make sure I'm looking at what you're sharing. There we go. Okay, I see it.
okay.
So you want to go to your marketing tab.
Oh, to the marketing. Okay.
Marketing tab.
Okay.
And for some reason, there we go. Okay, so you've got, where's the Kindle countdown deal?
I think it's down here. Yeah.
Oh, price promotion. There it is. So if you go ahead and create the Kindle countdown deal, it should
Okay.
give you the information. And you select the book first. You have to click on your book and then
Okay.
continue. And there you go. So you can set the beginning and end date and the starting list price at 99 cents. There you go.
Wow, it's actually, surely that's not right based on.
It is right because it only applies for your Kindle countdown deals.
Okay.
Allow you to start at 99 cents. If you were doing, you know, the minimum price based on the size of your file, it doesn't allow that. And unfortunately, when you're first launching your book, you can't do a Kindle countdown deal. It has to be a certain age first. So,
Okay.
so that's where you might, you know, you can't launch a 99 cent typically if you have a very large file. But in this case, you're good. You're good to go.
And it actually lets me change it here too.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but so I just want to do it for the 3 days. If I was to do this, you know, I could start it on Monday and end it on, say, Saturday or something like that. But
so just select the 99 cents and then what it'll do, you got the end date there that you have to fill in. And what that, you decide what that end date is going to be. But what it'll do is it'll gradually change the price from 99 cents, gradually changing it higher, higher, higher every day until it gets to your $9.99 price. So if you want the first few days to allow it to be lower price, then maybe give yourself, you know, give yourself more of a duration so that they'll have the lower price longer.
okay, I gotcha.
Sound good?
All right. Yeah.
Oh, it says number of price increments. You can change it to how many price. So if you leave it at 1, it's just going to stay at the 99 cents.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, if you want it to go up, you know, the longer that they wait, then the more they have to pay, then you can change it to however many increments that you want it to jump before it gets to the $9.99.
Okay. So because my ebook's been out for a while and I have this as an option, it has been out long enough. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yep, that's exactly right. You would have gotten an error message if you tried to click on it. It would have said that it's not been out long enough.
This has been really helpful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Not a lot of people use the Kindle countdown deals, and it can be really valuable, especially if you're like trying to refresh. Now, there's also one thing that I would recommend if you're going to do this. You can also go to the Fussy Librarian and you can get a 99 cent promo. So let them know that your ebook is going to be on special. And there are other promo sites too. Instead of saying offering a free ebook, you can say it's a 99-cent promo, and they'll send it to their very large mailing list about the fact that you have a 99-cent promo going on. So it's not just going to be your own email list, but it'll be other promo sites also helping you drive traffic to it.
And I must have misunderstood that on Fussy Librarian, because I thought that was specifically free ebooks.
Nope, they have they have promos that you can also get, which is price based. If you go on and open a new tab, I can guide you to where you sign up for that. Go to thefussylibrarian.com, and the same thing can be done with BookBub as well. You can get free ebook promos or 99-cent ones or whatever. And it's not just Fussy Librarian, there's Free Booksy and other things. Some of them, those promo sites, will allow you to do either a free ebook promo or a priced one, $99, $1.99. And of course, you're much more likely to get downloads for a free one, but you can do, it's not too expensive to do a promo.
Okay.
April, I have a question. So if it's 99 cents, but she says it, it costs more to download it, does she then get deducted any fee, or does they just waive it?
Because of the countdown deal, it's perfectly fine. It won't charge her anything extra. Now, do you see where it says here in the Fussy Librarian, it says free and bargain ebooks? So you can click that drop down next to home on the top row. It says free and bargain.
Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
So
Looking on the left.
So if for authors, you can either do a free ebook promo or you can do a bargain promo, and you decide it's going to be a $99 or $1.99 or whatever it is. So you can order either with the Fussy Librarian. You just have to plan a little bit in advance of your promo, just so that you can coordinate and stack. What I try to do whenever I'm doing like a big push is stack promotions like the Fussy Librarian, Free Booksy, BookBub, and try to put multiple ones together and get that, so that on the same day that I'm running a promotion and telling my folks about it on my email list, they're also getting blasted to other places as well. And hopefully that gets you more traffic, it gets you more downloads, gets you more sales and reviews.
So I did go ahead and do the BookBub. I got that scheduled. But I think I set it because I thought it was for $1.99. I didn't realize I could do that. 99 cents and get away with that. But since it hasn't happened yet and it's scheduled, I guess I could go in there and alter that. Have you had that experience?
You could try, or you could just put your book at $1.99 if that's, if you were already committed to it and they won't change that, then you could just do the $1.99 and then do the Kindle countdown deal another time with your next promotion.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Cool.
Awesome. I hope
Thank
this
you
has
so
helped
much.
you guys.
Oh, very helpful. Thank you so much.
So wonderful evening, everybody.
April,
Thank you.
April.
Yes, you want me to hang on?
Oh, I was gonna say, I looked up what happened if you order the book. If you click on the picture I posted, you will see that they add taxes, they add shipping cost, which is not $4.13 but $3.49 or something like that.
Yeah, that's
and it is no returns.
Yep, but it's the same thing. If I was selling it on my website, I would be charging tax and shipping too. So
So basically what I personally see is it is not gonna compete with Amazon for paperbacks, but it is an option for those people who do not want to print offset hard copies, but they still would like to have that option.
Right. Yep.
That is somewhat in that vicinity.
Thank you, Marina.
Anyway, just extra info.